All three parts of Ironman films will be explained today. The movie starts showing the site of the border of Afghanistan. There is also the US military, which is waiting for a man who was weapon designer, and his name was Tony. It is seen within a few times that Tony reaches there. He displays a missile to the military. He claims that it is made by us. This single missile is far too dangerous to destroy the entire country. Then it is tested there. In fact, Tony was here to make a deal with military officers, and that he might become the wealthiest as a result of this contract. He then departs from it now. Meanwhile, somebody is attempting to steal Tony's car. All military officers there try to rescue Tony, but those opponents kill the military officers. Tony gets out of his car to save himself. Nearby him is his company's atomic bomb. He is injured as a result of the unexpected explosion of a bomb. Now the time of a day before is shown, when Tony was awarded with the best weapon manufacturer. Actually, the company which he was running. His father had established it with the sharing of his friend, but the place where the award was being honored, Tony was not present there, so his award is received by someone else. Where was Tony if he was not there? He was in gambling club where that man visits who had received his award. He hands him over his award. Tony says, "Where will I save it? I have no capacity at my house." Giving that award to the people, he leaves from there. A press reporter asks Tony, arriving there, "Are you contented that you are manufacturing the new weapons? And they are deadly weapons that can not only destroy the life of individual but the whole country." Tony says, "Yeah, I am contented, because opponents will kill us if we don't manufacture weapons." Afterwards, they spend some time with each other. Then Tony is told that his seats are reserved in airplane to Afghanistan, and Tony lands Afghanistan through his private airplane. Now the scene changes to the current time. Being senseless, Tony is attached to a battery. He is left shocked, coming into the senses. "Why are the batteries attached with me?" Restoring his consciousness, he asked a man standing beside him, "What is happening with me?" That man tells, "Many bomb metal pierced into your body when it exploded. These fragments were too tiny so we could not remove them out. There was only one solution to stop those fragments reaching your heart. So we are using electromagnet. You need not to be worried." The terrorist group is known to have kidnapped Tony. Then the leader of that terrorist group arrives. "Tony," he says, "do you have any idea? Why did I bring you here after your kidnapping? I liked your manufactured missile. As you know that, US military has occupied our country's border. So I want that you may manufacture the same missile for us, and I will release you as you hand me over that missile after attacking them." Tony says, "Not at all. It is your credulity." A man standing beside Tony says, "Don't act as such. You have no other option besides it, because it is such an area where neither military nor your peers can detect you." Now who was that man? Actually, he was also the weapons manufacturer, and he has also been brought here by them. Now that man and Tony begin to plan how they may escape. Whereas, it was seeming incredible to escape, but they just waited to struggle. That man says, "I want to move to my family." Tony tells, "I have no family except a driver and an assistant." Then they think that they will build a bulletproof suit, so we may not get any harm if we go outside and are attacked by them. And we immediately run away. That man tells Tony, "Your body electromagnet can be controlled with a battery attached to your body by me. Now it will have to be searched so we may escape, making it effective." But they needed a high-power battery for that suit, which may make that suit working. On the other side, the head is still thinking that they are perhaps building that missile for him. So he continued to provide the materials, since he is unaware of the material properties needed to construct a missile. The news of building that suit also travels to the head as it is prepared. Being aggressive, he wounded that man who was assisting Tony to build this suit. Wearing that suit, Tony activates it properly. He also brings that electromagnet power in it, and he starts to kill all those people presented there. And wearing the same suit, he escapes from that cave. Coming outside, he destroys all weapons, and he flies through suit's rocket launcher. He falls down in a desert where his team searches him out, and it brings him at that place where they used to live. There are also Tony's father friends, who had pioneered this arms industry along with him. Tony says, "I want to be on the live stream and also want to hold a press conference." Now it is seen that Tony is communicating with the press reporters. He tells that I had been abducted by Afghans. They put a demand that I may manufacture weapons for them. I have thought that my weapons are creating the havoc, and they also want to break out the war, getting my manufactured weapons, so I don't wish it. I am closing my industry. I am not going to manufacture such weapons in case I don't close the industry. And that man who was the friend of Tony's father says to all, no. The fact is opposite. Tony recently has reached here, rescuing himself. He is not stable. He is grieved, so talking nonsense. It is not going to be held as such. Tony leaves from there, and that man also pursues Tony. He asks Tony, what happened? How did you escape from Afghanistan? And why had you been abducted by them? Then Tony reveals the whole story to him. He also tells that I had built an iron suit through which I escaped. Do you want to take a look? That man says, yeah, why not? Tony removes his shirt and shows him some part of that iron suit on his body. That man says, seeing it, it is incredible. We should bring it before the world while working on it more. We may grow riches through it, and we may achieve much success through it. Being disagreed, Tony moves to his assistant. He tells her, I have built an advanced arc reactor than the arc reactor fixed in my body. Replace it with that reactor. That assistant asks Tony, what does it work? Tony tells him that my body has a few metal pieces. It stops them reaching to my heart. It also creates more power in my body. Contrarily, group of terrorists discovers some fragments of that iron suit in the desert. They detect, uniting them. What is this in reality? And Tony is also in this struggle to build a new iron suit. He had fixed some more powerful rocket launchers in that suit, which were going to help him in flying. Now he commands to its suit electric generator to fly him higher. His suit begins to freeze due to the cold as he flies higher, and his suit system detects error, so he falls down. As he commands his suit system again, he is falling down, because it was melting the ice on it, and he takes a flight again. As he approaches the house, he modifies his suit's mechanism so that it does not defrost while going to fly higher, and his assistant has put his old arc reactor on the table, writing something on it. He gets excited, witnessing it. In the evening, Tony goes to a party. His assistant is also there. They pass time, dance, and rejoice with each other. Then that press reporter reaches there who had asked some questions from him. She tells that the missile that you display in Afghanistan. How many missiles like that are being manufactured by the country Afghanistan? I don't think. It is being held under your supervision, or you have asked to do as such. Tony comes in rage immediately. He thinks this is surely done by that man, who was his father's friend and that industry's investor. He directly moves to that man and asks, it is really you who have dispatched that missile there? He tells, yeah, I had to do it. Tony says, have you any idea that the present terrorists are killing people in a large numbering there, and you supported the same terrorists? It is not the mission of our industry. But he ignores him completely, and Tony returns to house, and he himself tries to work on it. He makes his suit more powerful. He had used the technology of every type in it, which can fire the little rockets with the other firing. Tony instantly flies to Afghanistan wearing that suit, where he battles with all terrorists including their leader, and he fires a little rocket there through his suit. Consequently, that place is ruined. That place's Air Force also knows that there has been held a great explosion, but they are unable to discover Ironman. Then Tony calls that friend who had visited gambling club to hand him over the award. He tells him, it is me who have exploded it all. Kindly tackle this matter. Then he is asked that, who is involved in these attacks. He says, it is possible that many enemies had attacked together. It means he keeps Tony out of suspicion. Tony's father friend is surprised, hearing it. Is someone disappeared after attacking as such? He quickly moves to Afghanistan and converses with the terrorists. Those terrorists say, we have known who is behind the scene, but we are silent at that moment until we expose the complete reality. It is Ironman because we have got some fragments of his suit in the desert. That terrorists say to that man, we can reveal the suit design if you pay us. But Tony's father friend does not act upon it. Even he brings the suit back, threatening them. Tony comes to know that his old suit has been stolen by someone. He says to his assistant, going there, I will have to stop him at any cost, as this information may not disclose and he may bring destruction everywhere. Using my name, Tony's assistant moves to the office of Tony's father friend. She hacks all information from his computer. She also knows that he was the same man who had abducted Tanabe, those terrorists, because he did not want that Tony may have even a little share in this company. She is surprised, knowing it. She is about to leave from there that man comes there whose computer was being hacked by her. But she leaves from there, entangling him in conversation. But that man was shrewd, so he knows this girl has hacked his computer. Man appears there when she is leaving, hacking the information. He asks, do you know about Tony? Will you arrange my meeting with Tony for interview? I have to ask something from him. On the other side, Tony's father friend is also feeling nervous, because he had known that Tony is most powerful, and he has also known that I am responsible for all. That man has commanded some scientists to build that arc reactor fixed in Tony's body. But the surprising thing is this: the size of the reactor was biggest, which was being ordered by him, but it had a time for its completion. So he moves to Tony's house in rage. He takes away the reactor from Tony's body, which was actually his heart, powering off him. Tony begins to feel feeble without it. Now he was not going to survive for a long time without this. Then he remembers that his assistant had given him an old arc reactor. He immediately covers his body with that suit, adjusting the source of power. Now Tony's father friend had left, taking that power source of Tony. He had built a great iron giant, which he called Ironmonger. That man fixes that arc reactor into it, which had been taken out from Iron Man's body. Being activated, it emerges multi-powers. Within this time, the real Iron Man had also approached there, and there is tough fight between them. They come on the road while fighting. Then Iron Man remembers that this suit is not properly mended till this time. It means that it will freeze while flying higher. He instantly begins to fly high, so Ironmonger also chases him. Ironmonger's suit begins to freeze as they fly higher. Being feeble, it starts to fall down. Reaching down, it is again powered up. Now it starts to attack Iron Man. Now where do they fall down? They fall on the same laboratory where this powerful arc reactor was being built. This arc reactor was being built by that man's scientists, who was the partner of Tony's father. Now Iron Man quickly says to her assistant, "Power up this reactor. I will flee instantly." And Ironmonger will be completely affected by it, because he will be unaware that reactor is going to activate. That girl carries out the same. It releases many waves, which surround Ironmonger and causes his death. Next day, it is witnessed that Tony is in the press conference, and all are complimenting him, asking, "Are you Iron Man?" A man says to him, "Coming there, you need not to tell it. You have to say it. There was my security guard." And the fight was being held between them because of their private conflict. And your father's friend also died naturally. Then Tony goes before them, taking that note. At the same time, his friend whispers him, "Just tell what is true." Iron Man speaks before everyone. "I am Iron Man." Now everyone had known that real Iron Man is Tony. And the part I of Iron Man completes on this scene. Now the part 2 of Iron Man will be explained. Now the part 2 starts where the part I had completed. The news is Tony has accepted that he is Iron Man. He's broadcasting on someone's TV. And the viewer of this news is Ivan. His father is passed away, watching this news. Then Ivan says that I will avenge Iron Man. So he also builds a tiny arc reactor through which he was going to build his suit, because he was going to battle Iron Man. Ivan's suit is built after many days, and he names it Whiplash. Its ability was to cut any type of the metal. 6 months later, Tony is delivering a speech before some people. He has worn his same suit. He tells that it was the dream of my father to build a city having the innovative buildings and high technology, but he did not fulfill his dream. Now I will fulfill his dream. And he displays his suit to everyone. This suit will help me. Tony is leaving after this speech that some people arrive to him. They say to Tony, "Some people want to ask you about something. They want you to visit court in the morning time. They will interrogate you about your suit." Going to court, Tony comes to know that there is military. Court administration is declaring to him that you have built a marvelous iron suit, but you should not have this deadly power source. Hand it over to military, because it can train their soldiers nicely through it. Tony says, "No, I have built that suit. I have put my efforts in its building. I experimented on it, so it is only me who knows how to use it. It is my suit and I am only Iron Man. No one can appear as an Iron Man except me." Here Tony's same friend is also there, but his face look is different in this movie part. It means someone else has been befriended with Tony, but the role is same. He also says same, "I am needing to say it. This suit is really threatening. It should be in the possession of military." In spite of it, Tony does not agree. Then a man comes there who is expert in weapon technology, who says the same. But Tony declares that I am not going to agree with anyone. Tony says to all, "I knew who has asked to say as such. He actually wants that you may take my suit because he is finding difficulty to build such a suit. He has built many suits, imitating me, but they have not that power source which my suit possesses. So why are you being trapped by him? I show you evidences." Tony also begins to show them evidence. Which type of the man is he? He says, "This weapon manufacturer is not holding sway over my suit. How will you be able to do so? I can only use it." and I know it will not harm anyone. Everyone convinces with him and he departs from there. On the other side, it is seen that Ivan has built his suit Whiplash. Now he wanted that he may battle with Iron Man directly. Going there. Contrarily, Tony is also checking his suit. His suit had such a chemical element which was beneficial along with deadly. Due to this, poison was spreading in the body of Tony. Meantime, Tony also ponders, what will be the effects on industry if I pass away? So he calls his assistant and says to her, I hire you as a CEO of my industry. This industry is under your control now on. Hire the employee according to your will. Then Tony's assistant, who was CEO of this industry, calls a girl for interview. But that girl is the spy of another industry. Then a car racing is viewed and Tony has also taken a part in it. But Ivan and Whiplash appear there at the same time, and he attacks him. As a result, his car is broken off into 2 pieces. This news is also watched by Tony's assistant, and she says to his guard that we will have to move immediately for his help. They move there and give Tony his suitcase, which had the Iron Man suit. Iron Man puts it on and the fight begins between Iron Man and Whiplash. But Whiplash was protecting itself when Iron Man was attacking him, and it continues for a long time. Then Iron Man attacks Whiplash with full power. At last Whiplash is knelt down. Whiplash is seized. After a while, Tony moves to the police station to ask Ivan that, why did he attack him? He keeps silent before him. Tony says to him, otherwise your built technology was admirable. You may grow richest while selling to the military. Saying it, he leaves from there. Then one more man appears who was like Ivan, even his uniform. He was sent to prison so it may be shown to the public as Ivan has been executed. And a man who was a great criminal secures the real Ivan. Everyone was thinking as Ivan had been died, because they had put into death the fake Ivan, exploding that place. That criminal was the owner of an industry and biggest opponent of Tony. He also wanted to build many suits like the Iron Man suit, and he may build a complete military of it. He had also freed Ivan from the prison for this cause. On the other side, the chemical element of Tony's suit is irritating him. It was constantly delivering the poison into the body of Tony. He was realizing it that he will be no more if he does not take any action soon. Ignoring it, he arranges his birthday celebration. He is dancing. Then that friend comes to him and says to him, military has ordered to bring you or your iron suit before them in coming day. That man was also irritated by Tony. He asks, you are celebration your part, wearing your suit. Do you know that it is too deadly? But Tony does not give his ears to him, so he also appears, wearing Tony's old suit. And there is a great fight between them. Both had worn the iron suits, and both wanted to beat other. So first one may be victorious. Now both begin to emit the laser from their hands, and both laser lights are crashed with each other, emitting at the same time. And there is great explosion. The explosion occurs at the location of Tony's industry where his birthday is being held. That friend moves away, taking Tony's old suit. But Tony is there in intoxication. Then it is seen that one-eyed man comes to Tony. He says to him, your father had many goals, and what are you doing? You wander here and there as being drunkard. Tony says to him, mind your language. Who are you to say as such? That man says, I know a disease about you. The girl who had come to your industry was not anyone else but my spy agent, and she had been reported me about you. Then that man also says it, I don't want to harm you in any way. I want you to build one more iron suit which may benefit the whole world. And I have some belongings of your father. You may take them from me if you want. Tony takes all belongings from that one-eyed man. He comes to know that the city which his father wanted to build, it may be built through that arc reactor. He starts to research on it and he witnesses the palladium core complete design there. Researching it more, he builds a more technological arc reactor, bringing some changes in it. And he builds one new suit through that arc reactor and names it Mark 6. He also receives the call of Ivan, who says that I have built a powerful suit, cooperating with your foe. I will wait for that day when we will confront each other. Let's see who wins. Let's reveal the secret how they built that suit. Tony's that friend who had taken Tony's old suit to the military, Tony's opponent, and Ivan brought some changes in that suit. And they made it more powerful, using some advanced technologies, which could fight, taking part in many battles. On the opposite side, Tony's opponent is delivering speech to many people. I have built iron soldiers, because it is an era of the Iron Men soldiers. Contrarily, Tony also knows that Ivan is not sincere with anyone. That he goes to his same opponent who is the owner of industry. He says to him, Ivan will cheat you. He will capture your all military which move to attack city. And it happens the same. At first sight, Ivan holds the control over all suits, along with that machine which they had built with new technology at first. The same suit which was Tony's old suit. Tony says to that industry owner, "I had said, go, hold sway over your military, but it was too late." Then Secret Spy reaches there, where Ivan is controlling all Iron soldiers, but they all had become out of control. Now there comes Tony, who had turned into an Iron Man. Coming there, he ends all Iron soldiers, using his power. But Whiplash comes before him, who had returned after being more powerful. Tony in his iron suit begins to attack him, but he was not being affected. Whiplash had become stronger and he knew how to confront Iron Man. Then Tony remembers that there was a great explosion when his emitted laser was crashed with his friend's laser. He says to his friend, "Let's test it again." Now they act the same and there is a great explosion there. Whiplash is ended on the spot. Further, it is seen that the same one-eyed man comes to Tony. He says to him, "May I reveal a good news for you? Your Iron Man suit has been proved by Avengers. It means that it will be utilized by Avengers team. But I apologize that you were not chosen for it. You will have to work behind." Tony says, "No issue. I agree, but I need the award of this task." Then it is seen in the next scene. The court administration members award Tony and his friend, and they gratify them saying, "You saved the whole world." And the part 2 of Iron Man completes on the scene. Now it is the turn of movie's explanation of part 3. Movie starts, showing a pastime, where a lady is telling him that I have made such a virus which has multi-powers. Even the people who are handicapped, they can also restore their powers. It means that they may recover completely. Then a scientist approaches there, wearing the sunglasses. He says to Tony that our industry is going to conduct a great experiment. Many advanced technology is going to be used there, so I suggest you to join my industry. Actually, he is very inspired by Tony, but Tony leaves, rejecting his offer. It is seen that Tony was suffering from a psychotic problem due to those attacks in the whole city held by Iron Man soldiers, and Tony was not getting ability to rescue them. So he used to feel ill due to this, but his friend encourages him. Iron Man thinks, "What I will do if they attack again." So he builds a complete team of Iron Men for this purpose, and he names this team Iron Legend. Now it is revealed that attacks have again started throughout the country. He was not anyone else because this bombing is being held by Mandarin. It means Iron Man's bodyguard is also in the same country, who was badly wounded because of those attacks. Tony likes him much, so he loses his temper. He declares in press conference, "I will treat Mandarin badly if these attacks are not stopped." But it seems that Mandarin dislikes this, so he targets Tony's house. Consequently, Tony's whole house is completely wrecked. There was also the same girl along with Tony who had made that virus, which can recover the crippled people. Wearing his suit, Iron Man leaves after rescuing that girl. But Iron Man's suit detects an error. He does not reach his expected location, so he crashes down at a place and there is continuing snowfall. But everything was not lost, because there was still power source in that suit. Hey, he could return to his expected location if he wanted. On the other side, the whole population is grieved, thinking that Tony has been killed in the attack on his house, because Tony remained invisible after this. Iron Man notices a child in that village where he was fallen down. He begins to talk with him much, taking him innocent. Tony discovers that village has also been destroyed, and it has been ruined in that same way as his house was targeted. Then he understands that he is surely Mandarin behind it. Now he begins to investigate the whole matter. He comes to know that weapons have not been used for these explosions, but the Iron Man soldiers having superpowers. He asks everyone about Mandarin's location, but he gets nothing. That child leads him to Mandarin's location unexpectedly. Tony had also built some weapons in the village. He had brought them here. There he comes to know that Mandarin was not present there. He was pretending as he is present there. There was only a man who used to upload the videos of that place, making them. Here it is observed that scientist of eyesight glasses meets Tony. Actually, his appearance was not as such, nor he used to wear eyesight glasses. It was his fake outlook. He tells Tony that I have recovered my ailment using that virus. Now I have turned stronger. He tells Tony that I have also abducted your assistant. He shows her image saying, "Look at this. She is in my possession now." Actually, she has been abducted in another place. It is only her image. And that girl who had discovered the virus, she had been working for the scientist for many years. That scientist kills her when he knows that she had gone for a meeting with Tony. It is seen that scientist used to employ the advanced technology, so no one was able to trace him. There is also the weapon of war, which is being operated by Tony's friend. It means the same iron suit of which he had garbed and fled. But that suit's name had been changed now by the same scientist. In fact, he did not want to reveal Tony tatted as the same suit. He brings that suit to him. Being most powerful, Tony had fled, rescuing himself, because he had to detect the place of terrorist Mandarin. Meanwhile, Tony discovers that scientist plans to kill US President, grabbing that suit, and he had to stop him by fair means or foul. So that scientist approaches at that place for this where the president is present. He was getting ready to depart to another country. Abducting him, he takes him to his secret place, where no one could reach. But Tony reaches that place, because that little child had guided him. And Tony was also brilliant. Going there, he rescues other passengers. But that scientist flees, taking that scientist when there is a turn to rescue the president. And he remains unsuccessful to rescue the president. But it is revealed what was the secret place of scientist. It was the secret place near a seashore. Why had he brought the president here? Because he wanted to make his death on the live stream, so he might get fame. And the people begin to feel terror from him. It was not a child's play to abduct the president. Vice President had helped the scientist to abduct the president as being envious. He had also done it in personal benefit because he had a crippled daughter, which was being cured with that extremis virus by the scientist. Now it is seen that Tony and his friend are at the place of the scientist. It means they are at the secret place near the seashore. Tony says to his friend, "I will rescue my assistant, and you may rescue the president." Now it is observed that Ironman had reached before the scientist. They were both wearing the iron suits and there is a great fight between them. On the other side, that friend also rescues the president, and he secures him, putting him on the iron suit. He says to him, "Go away just now." Iron Man also rescues his friend CEO, but she falls down while being saved. There is a burning fire there. Iron Man fears that she will be burnt now. But the interesting fact was this, that scientist had injected her with that extremis virus, so she remains safe from that fire, and she is recovered. It had proved a luck for them. Now it is noticed that Iron Man goes to that scientist. There is a great fight which is held between them. Tony hits upon a plan observing neither my army not my attacks are harming him. Taking off his suit, he puts this suit on scientist. The specialty of that suit was this as it used to explode itself, and Tony does the same. That suit is exploded. But that scientist was as shrewd as he had injected that virus in his body. Due to this, he remains safe after being survived. He was burnt but he has still the power. Then CEO also arrives there, and she kills the scientist violently. At last, he dies. Then that CEO comes to Tony. They embrace and accepts that they have affections for each other. And Tony commands his other iron soldiers, "Explode yourselves." It seems as there are continuing firework displays in the sky. Further, it is also seen that police officers have arrested fake Mandarin and the vice president. It is also witnessed that Iron Man had renowned. Then the great surgeons of the world operate him. The metal pieces in his body are removed by them. It was a best thing because neither arc reactor, chemical element, nor suit was required for his survival. He throws that arc reactor into the water, and his friend CEO is also recovered. Here the movie completes with its upbeat ending. I wish that you liked all 3 movie parts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel for more videos like this.